Good morning. Welcome to another PinchTune video. My name is Danny Cruz, otherwise known as PinchTune in the FPV world. Today I am going to offer you a comparison between the two top-of-the-line analog goggles. That is the FatShark HDO and the Skyzone SKY03O. A lot of you guys know that everybody's jumping ship over to DJI, but there's still a big market for analog, and a lot of us guys still fly analog for a number of reasons. Also, a lot of the guys that have jumped ship to DJI HD video still have a whole fleet of quads in analog, so they still have to keep a set of analog goggles. I know that I'm planning on going DJI soon as well, but I still have many quads on analog and I intend to keep flying them. There is a video here for the Sky03Os, the day I got them and unboxed them, and my first impressions. However, it's been a couple of weeks now and I've been flying both, and I have a much better idea of how they compare, and this is why I'm doing this video. I think this video is very important because initial impressions are one thing, but how I actually feel about the product now is a whole other story. Okay, so there is no question the two top-of-the-line goggles right now on analog are the HDO and the Sky03Os, because apart from the Attitude V5, these are the only OLED goggles around that I'm aware of, at least. I'm sure there's more going to be released soon. In many ways, the Sky03Os are better than the HDOs. They have a better fan. You can control different speeds on the fan. Not only that, it has a lot more power on the fan. It has a better DVR. It has a power button. And it has a bunch of other features included, and for example, on-screen display just out of the box, where you get an on-screen display with the rapid fire, but these, just the goggle itself has an on-screen display. It has diversity included. Supposedly, I say supposedly because I'll explain why in a second. There's a better Ipd adjustment. The way the layout of the plugs and features on the goggle is better, even though the menus are not as intuitive as they are on the HDO. Just the fact that the card for the DVR is off on the side here and not way tucked into the goggle, and all these connectors are very accessible. It is a much better arrangement than it is on the HDO. So, and to clear things up, the screens on the Sky03Os are definitely better. They're crisper, they have better color. So overall, the screen is better. There's no question. However, here's the thing. I keep reaching back to my HDOs, and I keep flying my HDOs more often. At first, I thought it was because I'm more used to them, and every time I put these on, they feel kind of alien to me. However, that's not the case. It's not simply that I'm used to them. There is something about the optics in the Sky03O that are just not for me. Now, this doesn't mean that this is not a better goggle for you than the HDO. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily not better than the HDO. It might be the right goggle for you for certain reasons, like people's eyesight and the way their eyes are spaced and all these sort of things is different. So goggles are very, very personal. A goggle that works really well for me might not necessarily work very well for you. But for me, I'm sticking with my HDOs. And the reason is, yes, I'm going to miss the better DVR. I'm going to miss the location of the controls. But for me, and I'm going to miss the sharper, nicer picture that I get from the Sky03Os. But there's just something about the optics that, for me personally, the FatSharks are just better. Overall, I feel not only that they are built better. I don't know what it is about them. They don't seem to have any problems or anything, but build quality just seems to be better with the HDOs. Now, keep in mind, I paid for these with my own cash. I paid for these with my own cash. I'm not sponsored by either company. I do get product from Banggood for review. I didn't get these for free. And who knows, this might affect my relationship, but I have to tell you exactly how I feel about the product and exactly the truth of how it works for me. Again, this might be great for you. They're just not for me. So, and I'll explain exactly why. How is it that a screen that is better, has better color, is sharper, has more definition, has better contrast than the screens on the HDO not work for me? I believe it has something to do with the actual optics behind the screen. See, when you look at the goggle itself, there is, you have the great screen below it, but in front of it there is a little bit of there's a lens, which you look through to see the screen. I believe the screen, the lens on the HDO is simply better. And the other thing is the screens on these guys are smaller. So this causes two things. It makes it feel, to me at least, like the screen is a little bit further away from me. And even though the screen on the HDOs is not a big screen, it just feels like it wraps around my face a little bit more and the edges go out more. Where on the Sky03Os, I feel like it's in front of me. Like, I can tell the screen is smaller, and a lot of guys say, "Oh no, the color is so much better, and the contrast and everything is so much better. I can see so much better. I don't mind that it's smaller." But I did notice it. To me, it really did bother me, the fact that it's smaller. It's almost like it was a missed opportunity to make a goggle that was in every way better than the HDO, and it did not happen because the screens are smaller and the optics is not as good as the HDO. Now, I do not know how many types of screen sizes are available for OLEDs for this sort of thing. So it might not necessarily have been a missed opportunity simply because the hardware doesn't exist. I don't know. But I do wish that they had pulled off a bigger screen with the same optics, because that would have been a complete killer of the HDOs. But because the screen is smaller, it looks like it's in front of me. And then on top of that, I do not know if it's because it's more compact and more in front of me, or if it has to do with the optics, but it accentuates the fisheye effect. So any of you guys that have the O3Os, go ahead and fly them. If you have HDOs as well or something like that, go and fly them back to back, and let me know in the comments. Let me know if you feel like you have more of that fishbowl effect. Like, to me, when I'm flying, it just feels like there's more distortion in the image, and that there's more of that sort of like fisheye effect, and it really affects my flying. I cannot get used to them. Maybe if I didn't have the HDOs, I would not keep going back to them, and will just force myself to get used to these. I also found that on bigger fields where there's more space, I had not as much of a problem, but I fly a lot of proximity, just like most of the videos that I post, like check out the ones from my forest. And because of that, I feel the distortion in the lens really affects my proximity flying. Like, I don't feel as comfortable. So it is disappointing. I really wanted to love these goggles. I was looking forward to it being like to sell my HDOs, but unfortunately I'm going to be selling the Sky03Os. There's another thing as well. The Ipd adjustment. So on paper, these Ipd sliders give you more adjustment than you get on the HDOs, but I just don't feel that way. I keep pushing them all the way in, and it's getting me the same effect that I have with the HDO, where it's barely there. Like, I could still go in a millimeter or two more inwards. So I thought, you know what, this will be, on paper it'll be better, but no, it just feels exactly the same. The other thing I don't like is that when you lock the sliders on the HDOs in, they stay in, they don't move. These guys, when I put them back in the case, they sort of spring back out. Beep, beep. And next time I pull them out of the case to fly them again, I have to push them all the way in. They never stay put. So I do not know if it's something that needs to just break in and eventually they'll lock in place. But for me right now, they just keep moving back out again. I am using the more curved faceplate. These come with 2 plates. One is a little bit flatter and the other one's a little bit more rounded. I'm using the little bit more rounded one. I tried both and this one fit me a lot better. I do like the red look, by the way. So let me say, I mean, it's a great goggle, and for a lot of you guys, it's going to be awesome. So I do suggest you try it. Unfortunately, it's not something that you're just going to find locally at a shop. You have to order them, so you do take the risk. But if you have a club or friends that have them, go ahead and try them because they might be great for you. And I know there's a lot of guys right now that have posted videos about them. They're like, oh, I'm done with my HDOs. I'm flying these now. Because I agree, the screen is a lot prettier. But, yeah. So anyway, the final thing we got to address, and this, everybody said it, I have my own feeling about it too, is the receiver. The diversity receiver that comes on board. It works. It is not as good as Rapid Fire. And I don't even consider Rapid Fire to be the best. Not Fusion or anything like that. I use a Clearview Race ground station brick. To me, I don't use it like a ground station. I attach it to the back of my transmitter, and there's only one wire coming up to my goggles for video. So because I have it attached to myself and I can walk around, I do not treat it or see it as a ground station, because a ground station to me has to be on a tripod. That's why a lot of people don't like those, because they have to be attached to a tripod. I do not do it that way. So for me, the Clearview brick is superior to Rapid Fire, and of course superior to this as well. It is a disappointment, the actual picture you get with this. The diversity on the Rapid Fire is definitely key. I understand that Skyzone is about to release an adapter for Rapid Fire for this. The other thing you could do is do a ground station or attach a dock king to something to put on the Rapid Fire and feed it to this with the AV in cable, and that would solve the problem. For me, I was never worried about the diversity on this because I knew I was going to use Clearview. But any of you guys that are planning on just using the goggle module, I'm sorry, Rapid Fire is way better, way worth the price. Even inside the house, flying a tiny whoop, flying outside, it's just not up to par, the diversity module in this. So that kind of leads me to the conclusion that I am going to keep the HDOs for the time being. I wish, and I think FatShark can do it. They can release a new flagship goggle with better screens than these, with their better optics, and possibly even a bigger one. In fact, I don't think FatShark can get away with doing a new flagship set of goggles that is not bigger than this. So if they are planning, I mean, I know they're busy right now with Bifrost and dealing with the whole DJI situation, trying to compete and all this stuff. But I believe that if they are in fact going to launch another top of the line goggle, and I think they should, because there's still people that are flying analog and they're going to have to do it simply to stay up to par with everybody else. It's going to have to be high quality, better OLEDs than what they've been running. Better if possible than this, or these same ones. No, they have to be bigger. They just can't get away with it. So let's see what FatShark comes up with after they are done with their whole Bifrost thing. I am not looking forward to spending another $500 on a set of these, but if I sell these and sell these, maybe I can fund their new flagship goggle. So I'm really looking forward to what they have to do. So these, the DVR, not great. They don't have a power button. But the optics and the way I can focus on these, even though the screen is not as sharp, as the contrast and color is not as great as the Sky03, this is the goggle for me, at least for now. We will see what happens in the future. So that is my opinion. It's what works for me. Again, this might not be the same for you. So if you have the opportunity of trying either or of these goggles, go for it, because you will find, or might find, that your situation differs. Your mileage may vary. Okay, so that is the conclusion that I had to finish on these, so I can call the story done and keep moving forward. Again, guys, thanks for watching. Thumbs up to this video. This is full honesty. There's no type of bias from either of these companies. It's exactly what I'm choosing because it works for me. Subscribe to my channel. It's doing very well. It's been growing very well, and thanks to you. Thumbs up to this video, share it, because there's a lot of threads going on both Facebook and RC groups right now about these goggles, and this might be able to help everybody. So go ahead and share this video. And yeah, until the next time, I'll see you in the next video.